We always talk about the necessity to build attraction. If you're a man with a successful career or your own business and you want to find the right girlfriend, life partner, or wife, you'll have to learn how to build attraction on a first, second, and third date and how to maintain that. Absolutely. At the same time, today I want to share a very useful mindset with you that's absolutely going to help you to convey your personality in a more grounded way, and that will also get her attracted to you. There's a million tools, but today we're going to talk about one, and that's the idea of assuming comfort. Most of the time, when you meet new women, you feel the need to first get comfortable with them, to break the ice, or even just to open up the conversation. How about the idea that opening up the conversation isn't even necessary? What if she was already your girlfriend? The next time you're on a date with a woman, ask yourself, how would I talk to her if she was already my girlfriend? You have to understand that whatever emotions you feel within you present, she's going to pick up on that if there's rapport. We have something called mirror neurons. It's a very, complex biological and neurological process. But in essence, if you feel strong emotions and there's rapport, she's going to pick up on that. So, yes, the right words at the right point in time matter, but you have to bring comfort to the situation. You can't rely on positive signals from her validation, her approval, her laughter about your joke until you can start feeling comfortable. You have to walk in there and assume comfort immediately. Now, does that mean that you can't feel any nervousness? Any excitement? Any emotions? Not at all. Absolutely, you're allowed to experience emotions of joy, excitement. That's all fine. But you choose comfort. I bring the comfort to the situation. For example, if you're a business owner or a manager in a company and you lead people, what do you do if a stressful situation arises? There's some uncertainty. There's market changes. Some issue has come up. What do? You bring the certainty to the situation. Everybody looks up to you. You have the same factual certainty or uncertainty as everybody else, but it is your responsibility to be the rock. We're here at the Irish Sea, and the waves are smashing against the rocks, and the rocks simply don't care, and they're anchored. They're grounded. I mean, okay, you could make an argument that over the years at some point the water chips away at the rocks until at some point nothing is left, which would, make for a case that it's a slightly imperfect analogy, but you get the idea. You have to be the rock. People look up to you to create certainty from nothingness. That's what you've done successfully. And where does that certainty come from? It comes from core beliefs. I'll find a way or I'll make a way. Maybe you have spiritual beliefs. Maybe you have positive reference experiences to look back on. You create that certainty out of nothingness. And that's exactly the same thing you'll have to do on the date. If you want her to feel comfortable and fun and playful and maybe even a little bit intimate around you, or rather comfortable enough to enter a state of emotional and physical intimacy, there will have to be comfort generated from you beforehand. So just decide, I will bring it to the situation. I have plenty of clients who run big businesses or who are very successful in various careers. And oftentimes they're quite logical in their thinking. I'm German, I understand that. You get stuck in your head. What if I run out of things to say? What if she doesn't laugh about this joke? You overthink her reactions. Is she actually really interested in me? And absolutely, you'll have to learn to read her signals. And you have to be super respectful at all times. But it's so key that you bring a degree of self-reliance to it, of self-validation, of getting out of your head and into your body. Because thinking is a very useful skill set, obviously. It's helped you in many areas of your life. But there's a right point in time to think, and there's another point in time where it's just about getting into the flow and being present and letting go and not having the need for every right, perfect word. Obviously, there's plenty of strategies for how to use storytelling, how to create attraction. Apply for a free initial consultation call if you want to learn more about that. A lot of that I teach in my coaching program. But understand that having deep and meaningful conversations is absolutely important. But what I found with a lot of my successful and intelligent clients, Jesus Christ, fucking hell, I got a fucking fright. Did you see that? Holy shit. It's a train going by. I thought a fucking animal was gonna jump at me. Little story. The reason I got that fright right now, Fernanda and I, we were in Spain. When were we in Spain? In July or in August, right? And we filmed YouTube videos for 8 hours with another friend of mine, who's one of Germany's best fitness instructors and online fitness coaches, weight loss coaches. And so we were walking down the hills again, and there was this monastery, and then we walked, and then there was this, what was it called? That animal. It was basically a thing with horns, right? A goat? No, but it wasn't a goat. It was like a male, big, very dangerous animal. And there was a Fernanda shaking her head. No, I swear to God, it was very dangerous. She did not recognize the danger. My friend and I saw this was a big animal. And the family in front of us, they just had their child walking along. I was like, you better pick that up. If this animal bumps the fucking head into that child, the child is gone forever. That's it. So we recognized the danger. The men in the situation recognized the imminent danger. The women didn't. Anyway, so that was quite a terrifying situation because the motherfucker was right behind a wall. Just the way you can see that here. It was right behind a wall. And then it was looking at us. So we just removed ourselves very slowly from the situation. All of that just to explain why I just got a little bit of a fright. Maybe also 6 years of martial arts practice. That if there's a threatening stimuli, your body responds. Speaking about being comfortable, right? So, going back to that, one of the things that I found regarding deep and meaningful conversations with my intelligent clients is, most of my clients are very intelligent, by the way, is they've tried to, their natural mode is to have deep and meaningful conversations, very logical or deep and meaningful. And both is good, and you should have both of that to an extent on the date. But remember, she gets to the date because she wants to experience emotions. It's fun and playfulness first. If you have 80% deep and meaningful conversations, it can feel quite heavy. You have to understand, women, yeah, they notice the emotions they feel towards you, but way more so than that, do they notice the delta in between how they're feeling. How am I feeling now, at the beginning of the date, as opposed to 60 minutes into the date? So if she recognizes that 60 minutes into that, I feel a little bit more heavy. It's not as easygoing, it's not as light, it's not as positive as I would have expected it to be, then she may be less likely to want to meet you again for a second, third, or fourth date. There's probably 1,000 blind spots, unconscious incompetencies that you currently have, things you don't know that you don't even know that are holding you back. There's many more things, but that's one of them. And have deep and meaningful conversations, but for a bit. Have other elements in the date that are fun and playful and lighthearted, where you create a man-to-woman connection very respectfully, but physically as well as emotionally. So you decide to bring comfort to the situation. And just a little example, right? Did you see how I got that little fright there? I could have very easily cut the video and said, this is not professional, I couldn't possibly get that in there, and it could have easily thrown me off my game, of course. Now obviously I have plenty of experience making these videos, so it doesn't really faze me anymore. But it's understanding, okay, there's a situation that arises, how can I work with that in a playful way? Because not everything is going to go according to plan on the date, always. For example, you may not be in the perfect, for example, one of the things I always say to my clients is, don't sit opposite of her, sit next to her. Now what do if they only have one table where there's one chair here and then, there's like one couch on the other side? What do? Well, you can just say, okay, I'm not going to sit next to her. Or you go into problem-solving mode, which is very important, and you simply pull the chair around and you sit at a 90-degree angle. And you say, oh, but David, what if she's not comfortable with that? Let me tell you something. If she's not comfortable with you sitting at a 90-degree angle with her, then it's not going to go anywhere. You might as well get up and shake her hand. That doesn't mean you start touching her or that you're weirdly close, but you can pull it around. You could be a man and say, okay, I'm going to pull this around, or we can both sit on the couch. If she's not comfortable with that, don't even bother continuing. So, situations are going to arise, but you have to understand that no matter what happens, nothing is going to be able to throw you off your game. Nothing she says could reduce the comfort because you're validating yourself. If you tell a joke and she doesn't laugh, you can simply say, it's okay, my parents never laughed at my jokes either, right? So you can see there's certain canned material, if you will, certain structures, tools, and there's a lot of them that are very, very useful, but it comes from being grounded. Meditation is a wonderful tool, but it starts with a decision. Me as a man, just like I'm a leader in business, just like you may be a leader among your friends, just like you may be a leader in your company, with your team that you're managing. I'm bringing the certainty to the situation because that's what's expected of me. And if you want to learn how to build attraction in detail, if you want me to help you personally find an amazing girlfriend, life partner, or wife, then simply apply for a free initial consultation call. During that call, as I said, we're going to take a look at your individual situation. We're going to see what are your specific blind spots. What are you already doing very well? What are you doing not so well? And then we're going to create a plan, and then we'll talk about whether working together makes sense or not. I wish you all the best.